have helped them progress and seen them.
The IMDb tagline reads as follows: following the events of Avengers Endgame, an unexpected tragedy forces the Eternals, ancient aliens who have been living on Earth in secret for thousands of years, out of the shadows to reunite against mankind's most ancient enemy, the Deviants. The Eternals trailer recently released is a glitzy and glamorous trailer promising a fantastical ride back into history and to the present as the story behind the Eternals unfolds. The trailer piqued everyone's interest, and we wanted to know more about this movie starring some great Hollywood names. We did some investigating. These are the mysteries behind Marvel's Eternals trailer. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. What are the Eternals all about? Eternals is an upcoming American superhero film based on the Marvel comic series of the same name. Produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures, it is intended to be the 26th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The film was written and directed by Chloe Zhao, with Patrick Burleigh also contributing to the screenplay. In April 2018, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige announced that a film based on the Eternals had begun development, with Ryan and Matthew K. Firpo hired to write the script in May. Zhao was set to direct the film by late September and was given freedom to use her own style when making the film, such as filming on location more than previous Marvel Studios films. Zhao rewrote the screenplay, which Burleigh was later revealed to have also contributed to. Starting in March 2019, a diverse cast was hired to portray the Eternals, which include Marvel Studios' first depiction of an LGBTQ superhero. Principal photography took place from July 2019 to February 2020 at Pinewood Studios, as well as on location in London and Oxford, England, and in the Canary Islands. The cast: Gemma Chan as Cersei, an emphatic Eternal with an affinity for humankind who can manipulate matter. She has been in love with Icarus for centuries and poses as a museum curator on Earth. Feige described Cersei as the lead of the film. Chan previously portrayed Minerva in the MCU film Captain Marvel. Richard Madden as Icarus, the tactical leader of the Eternals who can fly, project cosmic energy beams from his eyes, and has superhuman strength. Kumail Nanjiani as Kingo, an Eternal who can project cosmic energy projectiles from his hands. Enamored with fame, Kingo becomes a popular Bollywood film star to blend in on Earth. Nanjiani wanted his performance to combine the wisecracking attitude of John McClane from the Die Hard film series with the look of Bollywood actor Hrithik Roshan. Leah McHugh as Sprite, an Eternal who can project lifelike illusions. Sprite appears to be a 12-year-old child, but she is stronger and more clever than she looks. Brian Tyree Henry as Phastos, an Eternal and an intelligent cosmic-powered inventor who secretly helps humanity progress technologically. He is the first superhero to be depicted as gay in an MCU film. Lauren Ridloff as Makari, an Eternal who uses her cosmically powered super speed to scout planets. She is the first deaf superhero in an MCU film, and as such, she is not affected by the sonic booms she creates. Barry Keoghan as Druid, an aloof Eternal who can use cosmic energy to control the minds of others. He becomes withdrawn from the Eternals because he disagrees with their interactions with humankind. Don Lee as Gilgamesh, the strongest Eternal who can project an exoskeleton of cosmic energy. He becomes Thena's partner in their exile from the Eternals. Kit Harington as Dane Whitman, a human warrior who wields a mystical sword. Salma Hayek as Ajak, the wise and spiritual leader of the Eternals, who has aided the advancement of human civilization and is able to use her abilities to heal. Ajak can communicate with Celestials. Angelina Jolie as Thena, a fierce warrior Eternal who can form any weapon out of cosmic energy and develops a close bond with Gilgamesh over the centuries. Additionally, Haz Sleeman portrays an architect who is Phastos' husband, and Ozer Erkin plays a smuggler. Jashawn St. John, Gil Birmingham, Harish Patel, and Zain Al-Rafia have been cast in undisclosed roles. Reception by critics. The first footage of the film was released in May 2021 as part of a promotional video from Marvel Studios celebrating the films and a return to movie theaters. Though the footage was limited and vague, Hoa Tran Bui at Film still felt it was very exciting. Chaim Gartenberg of The Verge felt one of the biggest moments of the footage was seeing Jolie wielding a sword made of light. He was also encouraged that Eternals appeared to be one of Marvel's first films to deliver on their years-long promise of creating films with more diverse casts. Nerdist's Michael Arbiter said the footage was quick but felt that it manages an air of wonderment. The first teaser for the film was released on May 24, 2021. Gartenberg felt the teaser was light on plot elements, with it instead focusing on the civilization-spanning scope of the superhero team and its members throughout human history. He also believed the film was a big swing from Marvel Studios to entice audiences with lesser-known comics properly, but believed that it would succeed due to its diverse cast of well-known actors and Zhao's status as one of the most exciting directors around. IO9's Charles Pulliam-Moore felt the trailer was a multiple millennia-spanning recap of Earth's history, and said it was unclear how much the larger MCU would impact on the film outside of a brief reference to the Avengers at the end of the trailer. Writing for Entertainment Weekly, Nick Romano felt the teaser was a combination of thrilling, goosebump-inducing moments and some jokes. Eric Adams of the AV Club felt the spot teased some fresh angles for the MCU in a similar way to Thor Ragnarok and Guardians of the Galaxy, and he enjoyed the images of Kingo's Bollywood dance, Sprite performing karaoke, and the end scene of the Eternals eating together and joking about the Avengers. After seeing the teaser, Variety's Adam V. Vary described the film as unquestionably a Chloe Zhao movie, but wished more action set pieces were featured in the teaser to see how Zhao would approach them in the film. Adele Ankers of IGN discussed the poster that was released at the same time as the trailer, highlighting how the Eternals appear in silhouette against a sunlit background, which she described as another taste of Chloe Zhao's signature filming style and the use of natural light to illuminate a frame that would be seen in the film. Upon release, the teaser quickly became the #1 trending video on YouTube and amassed 77 million global views in its first 24 hours. The mystery of who the Eternals are. But what even is an Eternal, you ask? You have already met one, Thanos. The big purple mass murderer was center stage in Avengers Infinity War and took on a whole bunch of heroes in Endgame. His temporary success in ending overpopulation by wiping out half of the galaxy is apparently the reason for the Eternals reuniting in the MCU. The immortal aliens have integrated themselves into various Earth cultures and quietly helped humanity progress without interfering directly. The events of Avengers Endgame convinced them to step into the spotlight. Thanos may be the only Eternal we've seen on screen, but Eternals have a comic history that stretches back to 1976. They were dreamed up by Jack Kirby, co-creator of the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and the X-Men, after he created the similar New Gods for DC 6 years earlier. In the comics, they are an evolutionary offshoot of humanity living on Earth who possess greater powers and have longer lifespans. The Celestials, a group of space gods, created them to defend Earth. The current series, from writer Kieran Gillen and artist Isad Ribic, kicked off in January 2021. We have already seen a few Celestials in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, most notably the space station Nowhere, actually a Celestial severed head, and Peter Quill's dad, Ego, who took a human form in the second Guardians flick. The Eternals trailer ends on a light note as Sprite, Leah McHugh, wonders aloud who will lead that team now that Steve Rogers and Iron Man are gone. I could lead them, says Icarus, Richard Madden. After a pause, his fellow Eternals burst out laughing. Release date: Eternals is scheduled to be released in the United States on November 5, 2021. It was previously set for release on November 6, 2020 before it was shifted to February 12, 2021, and then to the November 2021 date due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It will be part of Phase 4 of the MCU. In May 2021, a Chinese state media report excluded Eternals as well as Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings from its list of upcoming MCU films releasing, which Variety noted added to rumors that the films would not be released in China, especially since Zhao had become an unexpected persona non grata in the country following her Oscar wins for Nomadland. Before we go, you might find this interesting. The cast and crew were evacuated from the Canary Islands set in November 2019 due to the discovery of a still active bomb from a Nazi base that was found near the set. Angelina Jolie and Richard Madden were present on set and eventually evacuated. How is that for some insane trivia? We didn't get any MCU movies in 2020, but they're coming back in a big way in the later half of 2021. Along with Eternals, Black Widow is coming to theaters and Disney Plus Premier Access in July. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings reaches theaters in September, and Spider-Man No Way Home is coming in December. It is MCU movie time, and the Eternals have been added as a big, pleasant surprise. Time will tell how fans receive the movie, but currently it looks like it may be a phenomenally successful film. What are your thoughts? Thank you for watching. Be sure to come back for more. Until then, stay safe.